Hey y'all, Dennis here. Hey, we have a new case that one of our viewers brought to our attention, and I've looked into some of this today, and I got home from work just a bit ago, but wanted to do a quick case layout on what we know so far on this case. And we are talking about the Molly Miller Colt Haynes. There's two people missing in this one. And in all honesty, from what I'm seeing in this story, this is almost out of a Hollywood movie type thing. And if I read correct, they did do some kind of mini-series where this was the story behind it, so to speak. I know Unsolved Mysteries has worked on this case, but they've been missing since 2013. I believe the date was July 8th of 2013. Molly Miller, she was 17 years old at the time, around 5'5", 95 pounds, Caucasian, Native American, brown hair and blue eyes. Colt Haynes was 21 years of age at the time, 6 foot, 180 pound, Caucasian, brown hair and blue eyes, and they were from Wilson, Oklahoma. And the county that this took place in, and I've got my notes here, bear with me just a second. The county was Love County, Oklahoma, and allegedly they were riding in a vehicle with somebody, and for something happened, law enforcement tried to pull the vehicle over. Molly and Colt were both passengers in the vehicle. The driver sped away, and at one point they're over 120 miles per hour. They turned into oncoming traffic through this. I don't know if they just lost law enforcement or if for safety reasons law enforcement pulled back off the chase. But they did manage to get away from law enforcement. The next day, and I'm seeing conflicting reports on this, the next day the driver was taken into custody. I've heard that they found him, and I've seen reports that he turned himself in. But either way, they found him the next day. Roughly a week later, they found the car wrecked and totaled in a field off of Long Hollow Road in Love County, Oklahoma. The two passengers, Molly and Colt, were nowhere to be seen. And Colt had called some of his friends on July 8th that night and said that his ankle was broken. He was laying in a ditch out there on Long Hollow Road. He needed his friends to come get him. His friends kept him on the phone and showed up. They were honking their horn, and he kept saying he couldn't hear anything out there. He didn't hear the horns honking. He could hear them on the phone, but he couldn't hear those around him. And Molly had called some of her family and some of her friends that night. First, she tried to call 911, but she hung up before dispatch said anything. Then she called family and friends and told them that she was out in a field and needed to be picked up. But they never found him. They haven't heard nothing else from him. The driver and his girlfriend are still considered suspects, and they did get arrested on other charges not related to this case. And I believe as of 2018, I believe it was, he has been released from prison or jail, whichever the case it was. But they do have these two still considered suspects, and nobody's heard from Molly or Colt. So this is another one of those cases in Oklahoma, Wilson, Oklahoma, Love County, and Long Hollow Road. And I'm going to try to narrow down exactly where the field was that they found the vehicle. Another concern that a lot of people have had with this case is it seems that the driver of the vehicle had some really close ties with the county sheriff at the time. Now, I want to be the first to say, to me, that doesn't automatically mean that the sheriff is corrupt or he covered up or had a hand in this, but that could just, if there's a close tie there, that could jeopardize an investigation. Just how that is, I'm going to be digging deeper to see what other agencies have investigated on this case. Again, I got this case when I pulled up to work today. I got there about 15-20 minutes early, and seeing our viewer had commented on this case, so I started looking it up for a few minutes there, and I've had a few minutes after work today, so I haven't dug deep into this, but I want to know the other agencies that have investigated on this case. And number one, to confirm that somebody besides the sheriff's department, just a precaution, not saying the sheriff is involved. There's no evidence yet of that. So I want to give him the benefit of a doubt on this. Most law enforcement are good people trying to make a difference. So giving him the benefit of a doubt, I still want to see the other agencies who investigated, just to confirm outside agencies have looked at this. And it's a good time for those of you who use Google Earth and other tools to jump on board with this case as well and help us find locations, etc. Any tips, information, suggestions you have on this case, please feel free to throw those at us. And you're not limited to just messaging us or commenting on YouTube. I have my email address and my phone number down in the video description area. But please feel free to reach out with anything you have that may help us on any of our cases here. So this is our rundown on Molly Miller and Colt Haynes. And obviously, as we dig more into this case, we will be sure to update you guys as well. And two young adults, 17 and 21, and I will get their flyer posted on our Facebook page as well. If you haven't followed us on Facebook, please go to Facebook, Muddy Waters Search and Recovery. And also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, turn the notifications on. I'll get this out here in a second. This weekend we have at least one, possibly two searches lined up to do. One of them is on the Randy Leach case. The other one is on the Cole Firestein case. But Molly Miller and Colt Haynes, that's our rundown on them. And as we learn more, we'll pass that off on to you. So till next time, y'all stay safe, and let's bring some of these people home.